What is going on, guys? Gaston from Microbeau, and today we're going to be talking about our newest release, the Bellar Air. A lot to talk about, so let's get started. This machine is 100% wireless. And as you can see, we have a brand new detachable type of power bowl for this machine that is going to allow you to swap the battery in between operations. But also we have a DC connector that's gonna be included in the box, which is gonna allow you to remove this battery and instead put a connector that's gonna allow you to use your machine with standard power supplies through a wire. So when it comes to ergonomics, you're gonna find the same beautiful ergonomics of the Bellar V1, and as you can see, even featuring the similar pattern right here. Now, in terms of balance, the machine still going to be tip forward, so it's gonna give you great maneuverability throughout your sessions. Now, when it comes to color choices, you're gonna be able to pick this machine in this teal Microbeau color and also in black. What we're gonna do right now is I wanna walk you through the options of this machine, especially the menu, and show you how to navigate this machine. Now, the first thing that you're gonna realize is that in the center, we have a screen, and we have designed this machine to be ambidextrous. So the buttons are actually across the machine, unlike on other machines that are on the side and usually suit only righty people. But here, because the buttons are across the machine, you're gonna be able to activate the machine and navigate through the options with either hand. So the interface is really easy. Push this button to decrease, push this button to increase, or depending, how do you orient the screen of the machine. We'll show you that in just a moment. And the center button is going to be the on-off, and also we're gonna use the center button to access the menu. Now, I wanna show you some of the options that you're gonna find in the home screen that we call it. So I'm gonna turn on the machine, and right here, you can see all the information that you're gonna get at a glance. First of all, we have battery status right there, and then we have a bigger value right at the top that it actually states the hertz, the speed of the machine, but you can also change it to volts, and we're gonna show you how to do that in the menu. Now, moving forward, all of our machines are gonna be talking about hertz, because hertz is actually the measurement of speed, and it relates to machine regardless, the manufacturer or the type of motor that the machine are using. Unlike a voltage, that voltage actually related to the specific property of the motor and not necessarily would actually help the user to tell the exact speed of a machine. Right over here, we are gonna find in a smaller readout, the volts. So you're always gonna have both in this machine. You're gonna have the hertz as the priority or the volts, unless you change it, and then you're gonna have as the bigger readout, the volts, and then little right at the bottom, you're gonna have the hertz. Now, moving forward, you see right there that we have the letter G1. That stands for the level of give that we are on right now. Once again, show you how to activate and deactivate it from the menu. And last but not least, we also have a timer in the machine. For those artists that charge by the hour, you're gonna be able to stop and start a timer anytime you want, also from the menu. So as you can see, the interface is fairly simple. You have the main readout at the top and then the sub readouts at the bottom. And after 15 seconds of in operation, the screen is gonna turn off. Let's wait for it to turn off so we can show that. Boom, there you go. Now that's a feature to save battery, and you can always wake up the machine by simply pressing any of the buttons, and there you go. So next up, I'm gonna show you how to access the first items in the menu. So to access the menu, it's gonna be super simple. What you're gonna do is hold the center button, and the first option is going to appear. As you guys can see, the first option is eGive. Then you're gonna continue to press the center button to cycle through all the options. We're gonna stop each one at a time and explain what they do. But once you reach the end, you're also gonna go back to the main home screen. Now, this is also the way that you're gonna exit all the menus. So do it again, just press the menu, invoke the first option, which is the eGive, and then cycle through, and to exit, press, and you're gone. So once you exit the menu, you're back at the home screen. Now, once again, let's go back to the first option, and it's gonna be eGive. And now to select the parameter, you're gonna go up or down, and it doesn't matter because they're round robin, so you can use the same button to continuously cycle through the options of the eGive. Now, one thing to let you know is that 0 means no give whatsoever, so the machine is gonna be kind of like a direct drive, no recoil. So as you invoke the first option, you're gonna have what we call the hard give. Second one is gonna be the medium give, and then it's going to be the soft give. And of course, 0 means no give whatsoever. Now, to continue to cycle through the options, you press the menu here and you're gonna move on to the second option, which is the foot switch. And right here, we have two options. One is on or off. And if you wanna connect to this foot switch that I have right here. Now, to connect to the foot switch, it's gonna be super simple. You're gonna go in the on position and then you're gonna tap 3 times the foot switch, 1, 2, 3, and we are connected. And once connected, it exits the screen, meaning that now you can start the machine. So you can see by a simple tap of the foot switch. Of course, this foot switch can be used on the floor or used back on the table. The option is gonna be yours. And there's also like a nice feature that we discovered that by flipping the foot switch, you can actually turn on or off a machine by simply leaning on the foot switch, because it has an accelerometer that's gonna allow to detect when a machine is there. And when you remove the machine, you simply tap as you're retrieving the machine, and that's how you can turn on the machine once again. So pretty cool feature, pretty handy tip. We kind of like didn't intend it to work that way, but a lot of people are using it this way these days with this foot switch. All right, so the third option is gonna be the timer, and you have the option off. Obviously, it's not gonna be tracking time when it's turned off, but when you turn it on, what's gonna do is gonna start tracking time. So what you're gonna do is exit all the options, and now the timer that you see right over here is gonna start tracking the time. It tracks minutes and hours, and of course, right now there are seconds that are going by that are being counted in the background, but you're gonna realize that in just a bit, we're gonna see the time starting to reflect there in that little timer at the bottom. Now let's move on to the fourth option, and this one is gonna allow you to choose volts or hertz priority, meaning the biggest readout on the screen. So as you see right here, the machine by default comes with hertz as the biggest readout. But if I wanna change this to volt, select volt, once again, escape the menu. And as you can see right now, I go up and down in volts. And right over here at the bottom, we have the hertz. So you're always gonna be able to track both, but depending on what you select, one is gonna be bigger, as the main display on the screen. All right, so the fifth option is going to be needle detect. And this one has to do with e-give. The reason why we have this option is because you may be using different brands of needles or different configurations of needle. By having this option enabled, you're always gonna get the same give response no matter what type of needle you use. So basically what the machine is gonna do is going to sense for a fraction of a second the resistance of your needle, and then it's gonna run an algorithm allowing you to kind of like get the same level of give from 1 to 3. So, there are some needles that have stiffer membranes and there are needles that have softer membrane, and that results into a different performance of the give or the recoil of the needle. So this one is gonna ensure that it's always consistent. So to exit the menu, you cycle through all the options, and once again, you can start using that. But one thing that I gotta notice is that my G level stays 0, meaning that I'm not activating e-give right here. So what we're gonna do is, in this case, activate the e-give, let's say 3, and now cycle through all the options, exit the menu. And now when I turn on the machine, you're gonna see the word sensing. And there you go. It's just happened for a fraction of a second. So basically what that is doing is trying to understand what type of needle resistance I have inserted in the machine, and therefore is going to run specific algorithm to give you the utmost give response. All right, so what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna demonstrate how this feature works. I'm gonna insert the needle, and as you guys can see right over here, my give level is actually 3. So now with a give selected in 3 level, meaning soft give, I am going to start the machine, and you're gonna see the sensing word. And it just happened for a fraction of a second. So what it's intending to do right now is trying to read the type of needle resistance I have in my needle, and it's going to allow me to use the give no matter what type of needle I'm using, always getting the same response. Now let me show you something really cool. If I disconnect the needle, it's gonna realize that there is no needle connected, and it's gonna turn off the machine by itself. Now this is a handy feature if you wanna avoid accidental stinging or poking, while you're inserting the needle. It's just another layer of safety that, you have with this feature. And once you insert the machine, once again, press the button, the machine is gonna kick in. And when I remove the needle with the machine running, it's automatically going to turn off the machine, and it recognizes that now we don't have a needle. All right, so the 6th item in the menu is going to be screen orientation for lefty or righties, and actually I've been doing this as a righty. So let's actually go and switch to lefty. So what this is gonna do is gonna flip the screen, and once again, center to cycle through all the options and exit. And as you can see, the screen has flipped. And now if I was a lefty, I'll be able to kind of like see everything like a lefty would preview things in the real world. So you have the flexibility of rotating your screen, you know, whether you are lefty or righty. So I think that's a super cool feature. So righty or lefty, we got you both covered. And this one is one of the most important features because it would allow you to completely shut off the machine. This is the hard power off, so you will be able to completely disconnect the battery from the main circuitry. Because even when you're tattooing and you press the button to on off, you're not necessarily turning off the electronics. You're basically stopping the machine from running, but all the electronics are continuing to work. So this way, let's say you leave the shop and you're coming tomorrow or you're traveling, you can actually, you know, use this option to charge your machine fully, turn it off, and you know that no power is gonna be withdrawn from your battery. So we recommend using this feature when saving battery is really important or traveling. All right, so now you have turned off your machine and you know it doesn't turn on anymore. How do you turn on the machine? And that's gonna be super simple, just like the Flux Mini or the Flux S. What you're gonna do is you're gonna power up the machine quickly with your power supply and the USB-C cable. And in a few seconds, the machine is gonna prompt the welcome logo, Bellar Air right there. Disconnect, and you're good to go. Now, press the button, and as you guys can see, sensing, I have no cartridge, so that feature is actually working because I have it enabled. And that's how you're gonna go by turning on or turning off your machine completely to save battery. So another important feature that we have added in this version is the click grip adjustment. And as you guys can see here or here, every time you turn on the grip, it's gonna be a click every 0.25 millimeter of displacement. So this is not only gonna give you that tactile feedback when you're adjusting your needle depth, but this is also gonna stop the machine from turning involuntarily while you're working. So I have never been so excited about packaging like in this particular release of the Bellar Air, because for the first time we're featuring this brand new in-house design carrying case that features a waterproof material. It's kind of like a carbon fiber waterproof material. Features the Air logo, double zipper, carrying handles, and also shoulder straps. So we are really excited about the release of the new Bellar Air, a statement of technology and luxury. If you want to get one of these, you can shop at microbeau.com. Also, you can find all the official distributors listed there on the website. Thank you for watching and enjoy this machine.